Hey everybody, welcome to this week's episode of the Angrygeeks Show. You guys know who I am, but backstage I got another co-host sitting in for that Wonder Woman Jamie Dolan, the one and only Quinderella, Emily Mae, and we have another author from Amazon. They're coming out of the woodwork for us. Stephen Hudler, creator of this awesome superhero novel, is going to be with us. But you know what? You guys know everything about me, and I'm done talking. So let's hit that intro and let's get going with the show. Start sharing and start liking, because here comes the intro.
Start building some hurting bombs.
Pressing me? Because your authority is not recognized in Fort Kickass.
Look, Doc, I just can't do it. I've never learned to speak Greek.
I got a bad feeling about this.
I don't need no philosophy lesson here.
And I think that the spotlight should go on top of me. Yeah.
Master of misinformation, Mr. Know-It-All.
Is he always so cheerful?
See, you told everyone your deepest, darkest secret.
Gathered together from the cosmic reaches of the universe.
Just looking thanks. I'll stand at the bar. I shouldn't wish to attract attention.
Don't get mentally erect.
Well, neither are you very much sure.
This is the way.
I think it's good, except it sucks.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed.
That's an attention getter.
The tower of power, too sweet to be sour. I'm funky like a monkey. Sky's the limit and space is the place.
Are you ready?
All right, without further ado, let's bring in Quinderella, sitting in for that Wonder Woman Jamie Dolan. You're a little bit nervous, aren't you?
I'll get over it.
Fine. But you're going to be fine. You did this before.
Yeah.
Yes. Once before you did this, but now we got a little bit more lights, a little bit more action. We got an audience chiming in. Don't even have to look at the screen or the producers, because I know Aviva right away is saying good evening. Am I right, boys? Aviva, good evening. Hi. I already knew Aviva, Angry Geek Superfan, says hello. And Amy Hudler, she must be here for our guest. So without further ado, let's bring in our guest, Stephen. Hi, Stephen.
Hey,
welcome to the Angry Geeks. And Mark is in the house. Yeah, Mark is Aviva's other half. I don't want to say better half, because I'm pretty sure Aviva is the best half of that couple. So
There you go.
Stephen.
Yes.
Ed Thomas is in the house. Hey, brother, what's going on?
Hi.
He says hi. Thomas says hi to... What about our guest? Say hi to our guest, Tom. Come on now. So, Steve, what can you tell us about the book? I mean, what can you tell us about the book? Deadlock, superhero novel. You took it one step away from a graphic novel, one step away from a comic book. You went straight, not to a novelle, because I know what that is. I was schooled. And you went straight to a novel. What was the inspiration, and why did you do that?
Well, when I first got the idea, way back in the 1990s, I was walking down my local comic book store. I got this great idea for what I thought would be a really cool comic book universe, but I just sat on it for the longest time. And then probably about 3 or 4 years ago, I kind of drug it out again, and my wife said, if you can't find anyone to draw, if you can't find anyone to do, the other comic book stuff, why don't you just write it like a book? And I thought, that's an idea. And here I am.
Okay. You wrote a book. Now, you were self-published. How did that come about? I mean, did you go to a publishing house, or did you say, screw it, I'm just going to do it myself?
I said, screw it, I'm just going to go ahead and do it myself. It was the quickest and easiest way to do it. It's a story that I love. I think other people will love it, and I wanted to make sure it got out to the public. And I know if I put it through a publisher, they probably would have said, well, take this out, take that out. We don't like this, we don't like that. And I didn't want anybody messing with my vision. So
okay. All right. Before the guys bring up any of the links on Amazon, you do have a 5-star rating, 45%. How did that make you feel?
Oh, that was nice. I mean, I didn't expect it, but it's nice that it's nice to know people are out there. They're reading the book and they're enjoying it, and they're giving me some high marks.
Okay. What was the inspirations for the book?
Well, just again, I just had this idea. I'm a huge comic book fan. Have been since the 80s, and I was thinking, what would happen if two alien races showed up here, each one decided to pick a champion, gave them special powers, and pitted them against each other. How would that look? So
okay,
that's I kind of went from there and came up with my story.
Okay, Emily, do you have a quick question or no?
I wouldn't say a question, but I do want to say I was looking at I looked at the summary and everything, and I do it seems like a really solid story, and I like how you said two aliens going against each other. I feel like it's different, and I like how it's a comic book aspect into a novel. And needless to say, I'm someone who likes different. It's a little for creativity, and I totally dig that. I think that's fantastic. And go back to the ratings. It's the only possibly negative thing I could find was sci-fi, that's great, but I only gave it 4 stars because I don't like sci-fi. Yeah. But it's not for you, Karen. So
wow, that's just like taking out the arrow and shooting it. Wow, holy cow. I want to talk about the cover. I know you're always said don't judge a book by its cover. What can you tell us about the guy on the cover? Is that someone you know? Is that a painting? Who's the dude on the cover?
That that's supposed to be the main character, Eddie.
Okay, guys, you know what? Just share the page right now. How about that? And let's see. That way people can see this and go, yeah, just pull up the tab. Okay.
There it is.
There it is. Let's go to full screen layout. Perfect. All right, so this is Eddie?
Yes.
Okay.
Eddie Solomon, he's the main character.
Okay. All right, so is that a painting? Is that an actor that you chose? What can you tell us about the actual painting itself?
That is, I had the book cover done from there's a website called Fiverr.
Okay.
And I found a really good cover artist there who was able to take my my idea and form it into the book cover, which I think is great.
Okay. Oh, there's your ratings. Perfect. Now, say if one of our thanks, guys. We'll go back to that later. Say one of our audience members would like to get this book, buy this book, and send it to you. A lot of our people like to have books signed and autographed. Is that an option?
Oh yeah, that's totally an option.
Okay. So where would they get that from? Your personal website, or they're contacting you through social media?
They would, yeah. If you want to contact me through social media, you can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Okay. Now, is the book only available through Amazon, or could they get it through your website?
It's only available through Amazon right now.
Oh, okay. All right. It's paperback and through Kindle, I see, correct?
Yes.
All right. So now with Kindle Unlimited, if you have Kindle Unlimited, the book is for free. Why did you do it that way?
Well,
is there a deal for that? I was always curious about
that. When you go through Amazon to do this, if you do it exclusively through them, there's a little thing on the back of the book, the ISBN number. That's how you sell a book. Yeah,
okay.
I'll show it again. That thing cost $125
per book, or just for the
just for that one number.
Okay.
But if you go to Amazon exclusively, they'll give you that for free.
Okay.
So, seeing as how I'm paying everything out of pocket, so I try to do things as economically as possible.
Oh, no, that's a smart thing. How many downloads do you have through Kindle Unlimited? Do you know? Can you track that?
I had a couple hundred. So the ebook went a lot quicker than the print. So I got like a couple hundred ebooks sold.
Okay. Now, what do you find more for more exposure wise? What works better, word of mouth or something like being on a podcast, being on a TV show? What works better for you through word of mouth to get the book out there?
Definitely something like being here tonight. That
okay.
seems to work a lot better. Because I live in a very small community, and as much as I try to get the word out, and my friends and family have got the word out, I seem to only go so far. So the bigger stage I can find, like here.
Okay. Well, thank you. Do you have another question?
Well, let me see. Sci-fi. I have my notes. Trust me. Well, I understand the main character is Eddie, correct?
Yes.
That wasn't my question. So does it give you a good understanding of Eddie's background? Like, do we learn a lot about him first, or?
Yeah. You find out some about him in the beginning, and as the book goes along, you find out a lot more that's happened to him, why he was in the situation he was in, and how he ended up being where he was when things hit the fan, so to speak.
Awesome. Yeah, I feel like that definitely is going to lead to more. Because, like, when I'm a huge reader, my room's full of books, like you had no idea. And I just feel like when you don't get the background, that won't lead to a solid story, and your mind won't fit. So I think it's really great. That'll just, once you get the background and like you lead, like you could follow Eddie's journey, if that makes sense. I'm trying not to be all over the place myself right now, but so yeah, I love that.
So what made you? I'm sorry, Stephen. What made you make Eddie a detective? Do you think that was a little bit cliche, or you just like he has to be a detective?
No, it's a little cliche. I am a huge comic book trope fan. I mean, give me the detective, give me the heroes fighting other superheroes, give me the secret identity and stuff. I love them, and I try to throw as many comic book tropes into Deadlock as I possibly could.
Okay.
It doesn't weigh it down. It doesn't make it. It's not, like, oh man, another one of those. But everything, all the feedback I've gotten so far, no one has disliked the tropes.
Okay. Is there any thought onto bringing this into graphic novel or bringing it into a comic book series to see your dream actually come to fruition and saying, yes, it's going to be a graphic novel. It's going to be a comic.
Right now, no. I don't know anyone personally who I don't know any artists personally. So
stick with us, kid. We'll hook you up. Em and I, we know what.
Advertise.
Yeah, Em and I, we can hook you up. I mean, Ali Montgomery, right down here, artists Jack Purcell, Joe St. Pierre. We know the artists up here. New England is full of living comic book legends. So yeah, for sure, stick with us. We'll get you hooked up immediately. I'm going to take a quick 30-second because I do have to announce something. A friend of Quinderella, of Emily and I, has a eBay auction out there right now for charity, and that is by Mr. Polly G. And he is auctioning this off for the Zombie Leaders charity for Em, why don't you say it? Because I'm going to screw it up.
It's like the Zombie Leader.
Yeah.
Leukemia Lymphoma Society. I can't say it either.
Yeah, I know. I can't say the lymphoma. I feel so bad for.
Yes.
Yes. So anyway, this right here is on eBay. If you want to do this hand painted Mandalorian, please go and pick this up. Here is the link on your screen. Go and wow, hold on. There you go. Go to that link. Bid on this painting, please, for Polly G. It is for a good cause.
For sure.
And bid on that. Now, we do have one other charity that we have to announce, and this is by Jim Lawson, one of the original Ninja Turtle artists. This is for Bacon Fest. Bacon Fest is going to be at the end of in October. This is for Jay and Tybo McNeil. This is for Autism Speaks. Please, $10 a ticket if you want this original piece of art. Contact Jay, Tybo McNeil, or Christopher Norris. Get your raffle ticket in there now and get this beautiful hand-painted piece. And on the back of this as well, if you win the auction, you get the original sketch as well. So we got two big auctions for charity, both Angry Geeks approved. Please join, bid on these because they're both going for two great causes. And Aviva has a question. Did the date of Bacon Fest change or do we get it wrong? I think I got it wrong. Anyway, let's get back to our guests. The book was published in 2021.
Yes.
When did you start writing it? February 1st, 2021. When did you start writing it?
I think it was around September of 2019.
Okay. And how long did it take you to write something like this? I mean, obviously you started writing it and you had the idea when you were very young. You started writing it, put it aside, started writing it, putting it aside. You had your character breakdowns. You had your plot already written. You had your beginning. You had your middle. You had your end. When you put this labor of love together, was it just nonstop for there? Or you were just like, no, I'm going to take a break, or was it really just leave me alone? Here's a sandwich and a cup of coffee and go?
No, I went nonstop.
Okay.
My wife works evenings, and we have a little girl. So I would come home in the evenings. I work a 9-to-5 job. I'd come home in the evenings, pick up my daughter. I'd make her dinner. I'd spend time with her. Her bedtime was 8 o'clock. And my wife would get home at 10. So from 8 to 10, I would sit down at the computer and I would just bang out as much as possible. And that took me probably 5 or 6 months to get it done. But
now, did you edit this as well, or did you send it to an editor, or did your wife edit it?
I found a great editor online. She edited it for me. She was also kind of half a beta reader, so it was fun to see her edit and then also send comments about how much, parts she liked, parts she didn't like, and that was very helpful.
All right, with the parts that she didn't like, how did that make you feel? Like, as a creator, if and you might want to join in on this. If you like something a lot, you're like, "Oh my god, this is awesome," and then you send it to your editor, and they're like, "I really didn't like it." Did that deteriorate you a little bit? Did it make you feel bad?
Oh my god, that's awful.
Well, I wasn't trying to be awful. Stop.
No, not you. I'm not saying you. I'm saying like that's an awful feeling.
Yes, okay.
I can't imagine. Like,
I know. That's what I'm saying. Stephen, how did that? I mean, how did you deal with that?
Well, at the beginning, she said, it's. I'm going to give you some critique. You can take it. You can leave it. Do whatever you want. She said, it's your story.
Mm-hmm.
So I would, I would take some of the criticism. I go, yeah, you know what? Maybe she's right. And there's some other times where I'm like, you know what? Nope. She's totally wrong. I'm keeping it.
Okay. All right. No, I would have been crushed. I mean, how would you deal with something like that?
I mean, I know it's a little different when you're trying to sell something. I mean, you want to make profit, but at the same time, when it's your art, I mean, you want to keep it. You're proud of what you do. Like, so I think personally, I can never be a writer like ever. So I can't really relate to that part. But like, for what I do, I make my cosplays as much as I possibly can. So, like, I just read this actually happened somewhere. If I was in like a professional, huge cosplay costume thing, and I was so proud of it, and I got like a last place award, and someone told me I need to fix all this, I would be devastated, embarrassed, but I won't change a thing about it because that's my work. I'm proud of it. You don't like it, but who are you?
Okay. All right. Fair enough. Stephen, what's next on the docket? Do you have another book in line, or do you have another story in mind that you want to work on, or maybe a shared universe with the characters?
Well, if Deadlock is kind of like a big bang. It kind of creates a whole superhero universe. My next book is done.
Ooh, okay.
It's actually having some beta readers go over it and they're answering questions, and then it should be out before the end of the year.
Okay. And could you give us an exclusive on the title in the next book?
It is called Fallout.
Fallout. All right. And is it tied into Deathlock?
Oh, the very last page of Deadlock and the very first page of Fallout just follow right along.
Nice. Okay, good. Why did you choose those two titles? Can you tell us?
Yeah, well, Deadlock, it was kind of the two alien species that were fighting.
Mm-hmm.
They're basically in a deadlock. They fought for thousands of years. They can't go anymore. It's one gains some ground, the other one gains it back. They can't win, so they're at a deadlock. Same thing with Eddie. He's dealing with things that he's struggling with a lot of things. So he's got to break his own deadlock to get through his own personal things to deal with this other superpowered being that's been created that's coming after him. And Fallout, that just seemed real simple because this next book deals with the fallout of everything that's happened in the first book.
All right, so are we making this into a trilogy, or is it just? I know it. I can just tell. Okay. What would the third title be, or it's way too into the future?
It's well, I'm doing a little bit of outlining for the third book right now. I haven't come up with a title yet. I'm kind of batting a couple ideas around.
Okay, so how do you go about choosing your beta readers?
Well, I will put a call out on my Facebook page and Twitter and the people that follow me. If they want to be a beta reader, they'll contact me, and I'll let them know what's expected. You know, I'll send you a copy of the book. I'll send you a list of questions. If you can get this read within a month, that'd be great. If not, then I'll find somebody else. But so I get a couple people there.
Okay,
and I've gone back to Fiverr, and there's beta readers there, and I found. I just had one for Fallout that I got back, and it's always scary when you send stuff like this out to a stranger, because you're always afraid they're going to send back stuff like, "Why did you start writing? You're garbage." But
ooh,
but they have
see, that goes back to my question earlier. It's like, how do you deal with that? That's, I mean, we had. Wow, how did you deal with that?
No. No one said it was garbage. No one said it was
okay.
garbage.
All right. Because if you saw Emily's face, it was
like, who said that?
No.
I know. Hey, Mikey, how you doing, brother? That was just I if you saw her face and my face, my heart sank for you. No. I know, like, who in God's name would say that to you? I mean, we had many artists on the show, and I always asked the artist, I'm like, when someone brings over a portfolio for you to review, and they're just awful, how do you tell them they're just awful? And they're like, sometimes I'm like, no, you need work here, and here. They're never really blunt about it, but that was just the way you said it. It was just blunt. So I was like, just taken back.
No, that's my own fear. When I send something out, that's what I'm most afraid of. But this latest beta reader, she sent back her like a 6-page critique, and it was nothing but glowing marks. And at the end, she's like, "You're a great storyteller. You're a great author. I can't wait to read the third book in your series."
Ooh.
So
okay.
That really pumps me up. I mean, I get something like that, I just want to sit down and write a whole new book just because of that.
Totally.
Okay, so now how long did Fallout take you to write?
That probably took me another 5 or 6 months to get done, between the job and taking care of my daughter and things. So
okay, so 5 or 6 months for that. All right, and that book is coming out when?
Hopefully by around Christmas time.
Okay, cool. Em, would you consider being a beta reader? Putting you on the spot.
Absolutely. I was going to say, well, I was actually going to ask you, my question is going to be, how do you become a beta reader? And I actually just followed you on Twitter, so I'm a step ahead there. But yeah, I would totally be a beta reader. I would 100% be interested in that.
Well, I can always get in touch with you through Twitter, and I could send you a link, and I can send you a copy of the book and the questions, and
meant to be.
That would be great.
All right. How many books? I know you read, because you said you're surrounded by books. How many books a month do you read?
I mean, I get a little mixed up in a few. I'm going to say on average, I try to do like 3, but like I said, like I get mixed up. I don't unless I have to, I'll say that as a beta reader. I won't start one book, finish it, then start another one, finish it, then start. I'm not like that, unfortunately. I get really mixed up. Like I got the Cruella novel, and I'm doing that and the Black Phone short story at the same time. Like I'm a little mixed up, but on average, I'd say about 3.
About 3. All right, so now we're going to take we're going to take 30 seconds for a sponsor, which is going to be a segue to my next question for Stephen. So let's take a quick 30-second break. When we come back, this is going to be a segue question. We'll be right back.
Squared Collectibles, 39 Wedgwood Drive, Suite 232, inside the Slater Mill Mall.
Pokemon every Saturday mornings. Become a Pokemon Blaster. Magic the Gathering every Friday night. Comics, toys, vinyls, diecast, and more. Find your inner hero at CH Square Collectibles. Proud sponsor of the Angry Geeks show. I so badly want to do like a 60s dance to that because it reminds me that whole commercial for CA Square Collectibles, Chris Hebert and family. It's like so 60s, and I dig it so much. If a store comes up to you, Stephen, and says, "We want to carry your book," will that be possible? If they want to carry that?
Right now, if I were to purchase some copies myself and give them to the store, yes, that would be totally able to do that.
All right, and we have another comment, and let's go with that. Chris Hebert, owner of CH Square Collectibles. I do a dance every time I hear it. I know. Look, Emma's dancing right now.
I'm thinking of it, and I'm just like,
yeah, it's so catchy. It's like when they were putting it together, I was like, it's very 60s. I love it. I'm digging it. Oh, how many? And Bill with 1L is coming back. He says, "What's the next con event where I can catch an Angry Geeks appearance?" What is the next? I know right now it's going to be Rhode Island Comic Con, but we do have the Anime Con that Rhode Island was putting on, but I have to check our schedule. But Rhode Island for sure, the 10th year anniversary of Rhode Island is going to be huge. We may be at Super Mega Fest. We may be at Granite State. I have to check with Mr. Michael Burgee on all that and ARE. So definitely those. So I just have to check our schedule and find out. And Mr. Axel says, "Hello, all." So anyway, Steve. Yes. Okay. So if a store comes up to you and says they want to do this, how would they go about it? Again, just contact you, correct?
Yes.
All right, Em. There you go. Another question.
let me see. What was the question?
Do you have another question?
Oh, do I have another question? I was like, sorry,
Yes.
my bad. You're doing a really good job of asking them. I think I'm good with my questions right now.
You're good with your... Okay, well, then guess what? Let's get to question of the week. This question of the week goes for all of our audience members, but it's mainly for Emily and for Stephen. And then our audience members can also answer this question. So this week's question of the week is, where are you out of water? So, Stephen, that question will be for you first. And then for Emily, you look really confused. Where are you out of water, Stephen?
I'd have to say I am not a very mechanical, technical guy. So if anything goes wrong with my car, if anything goes wrong with, I just kind of open the hood and shake my head and go, time to call somebody, because that's not me.
Okay. All right. Em, where are you out of water?
That's a good question. I would say just about the same. Just absolutely. I'm going to say, yeah, just not. I need to call somebody. Like, just not good with any of that stuff. Nope.
What, cars?
No.
Really? That's it? I was expecting something else, but okay. All right. I would have to anything that has to do with sports. Anything. I mean, you were with me at the hockey thing, so I didn't know what the hell was going on because I think you were there.
Sports for me, I actually really enjoy hockey. I wanted to watch the game. A lot of people don't think that, but no, cars. I'm actually the same way. I have a best friend who knows all about the cars and everything, and I've been trying to be taught. I actually work at the zoo. He works at the zoo with me. I can't follow, so it's really funny you said that actually. But I just can't get it. I mean, I can also say my boyfriend's a nurse practitioner. So, like, also, just to say, medical terms, that's kind of like, needless to say, like, I don't go to medical school, nursing school. That's kind of a weird thing to say, I guess. But, so cars makes a little more sense.
Okay. All right, fair enough. Any of our audience members wants to bring it in and tell us where? Chris Heber said yes, December 3rd. I will be at CT Collecticon. That is true. So Bill with one L. Yeah, I fish out of water any sporting events. So Steve, with the novels, how much of you is built into each character?
I think there's a little bit of me sprinkled throughout a lot of the different characters. There's a little bit of me and Eddie. There's another character. Her name's Blair.
Mm-hmm.
In the books, she is a big comic book fan.
Okay,
so that's where I kind of put that, and there's little bits of me everywhere in the book. I didn't want to make one character just me. I didn't want to be a self-insert. So I just kind of picked myself apart and put some there and some over here. And if you know me, if you know me, you can probably see me throughout the book.
Okay, so great segue. Other family members, how much of them are in this book?
My wife is in it. She makes a cameo. I changed the name, but it's basically her. And
do tell, please. We want to hear. We want to hear this character. Yes, please.
My wife is a huge, CSI, Law and Order fan. She loves all these police shows. So I put her into the book as a police detective towards the middle of the book.
That's actually pretty cool.
And she's a hard ass.
I like that.
Kind of a hard ass. So
okay,
yeah, all right.
And I had a little not competition, but I put something out on Facebook when I was writing Fallout. I said, "Who wants to be in the next book? I will put you in the book." And,
okay.
It was actually my brother-in-law. He was the only one that entered my little contest. So I said, "All right, you're in."
He won by default. Okay. Yeah. And what happened with your brother-in-law?
Oh, he works as a reporter in California. So I put him in as a reporter in the book. There's a big dust up. This big supervillain comes in, and this superhero team that I'm creating for this new book, one of them comes in and swoops in and saves them. So I'm very happy.
All right. So the inspiration for all the superheroes, are there any that you pulled from your personal preferences, from your childhood, from the collection that got whisked away by the flood?
Yeah. Eddie is definitely, I have him part Captain America, part Spider-Man.
Okay.
He's big, he's strong, he's got this strong moral compass. He's going to do what's right no matter what. But he's got a sarcastic side to him, kind of like Spider-Man does when he's fighting his villains. He's always got those quips coming out, and that's Eddie.
Okay. All right, and any other?
The other.
I'm trying to dig here. I'm trying to dig.
I have a character. His name's Merle. I'm a big magic fan, Doctor Strange, stuff like that. So he may or may not be something.
Okay. So let's talk about the villains of the book, because my co-host here is Harley Quinn. So I want to talk villains. Let's talk the villains of the book. What were the influences on the villains of the book?
I love just a good 80s, 90s comic villain, just somebody who he's got power and he just wants to abuse it.
Okay. And so definitely over the top.
He's way over the top. Plus he is
awesome. Okay, continue.
He needs to find Eddie because they have to fight. It's just, and so he's doing everything. He doesn't know about Eddie. He doesn't know who he has to fight. So he goes out and he just makes the biggest explosions and the biggest messes he can make, and then he's like, "Come get me, come at me." And Eddie sees this and he's like, "Oh God, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I mean, do I go out and just punch him? Because he's told he needs to beat him to win, and he's like, well, I don't know what a win is. Do I just pin him and make him say uncle? I mean, what's win?" So he's really struggling with that. Well, Zealot, our villain, he loves the power. He's just going around and just wrecking city after city and just calling Eddie out.
Okay. When creating, now I think you might like this question. When you're creating a name for a character, where do they come from in your universe?
Well, I try to take inspiration from old comics. I look at what powers they have and try to mesh it together with Zealot, the villain. Since he's kind of he's kind of enslaved to this alien species that transformed him. So he's a zealot to their cause.
Okay.
So he just takes the name Zealot. Eddie, for the entire book, doesn't have a superhero name. He's just Eddie. It's not until Fallout that he gets a superhero name, the Guardian.
Okay.
And even that wasn't his choice. That was kind of thrust upon him from the public.
Yeah, not to give any spoilers away, because Eddie gets hit by a light by one of the alien fractions to get his powers. Am I correct?
Yeah. He's having dinner with his brother Lester and his girlfriend Blair.
Mm-hmm.
They walk out of a restaurant, and next thing you know, this huge beam of light just comes right out of the sky, hits him, and for like a minute, he's like suspended in midair, just all balled up. He looks like he's in pain, and then about a minute or so later, the beam just disappears, and boom, he falls to the ground, and that is the beginning of our journey.
All right. Follow-up question?
So the first, like the entire first story during Deadlock, it's just that he doesn't have his name yet, correct?
Yeah.
He's still Harley. We don't have the Harley yet. Okay, gotcha. And so you say he gets struck by the light from the aliens. Do we see that? I'm sorry, I missed that. Do we see that in Fallout or Deadlock?
Deadlock.
Deadlock. Okay. All right. Cool. I just missed that. That's what I want to
ask. We're going to take another 30 seconds for another sponsor break, and when we come back, we're going to have some more fun with Stephen with more questions. We'll be right back.
BST presents Mega Clash, August 20th from the Rafola Center in Bridgeport, Connecticut. Watch newly crowned Monarch champion Evie De La Rosa defend her title against Vina Von Star. A rivalry reignited in the main event. Lucas Chase challenges Dustin Waller in a ladder match for the BST Championship. It all comes to a head one final time.
And we're back. 30 seconds goes by so quick, doesn't it? You think that you have time to go whatever, but you don't. 30 seconds is like super quick. Any female villains or female heroes coming up in the books?
In Fallout, there is I have a female villain. No, I'm sorry, a female hero. Her name's Darkfire. She's one of the new characters I'm creating. She'll be on like a superhero team.
There you go. You froze. Okay.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, you froze. All right. So Dark Fire.
Yep.
And I have a few more in the pipeline for future books that I want to bring out.
Okay, so how with the future books? I mean, where do you see this going? Is Eddie going to be around for a while? Is this universe going to be continued? Will they cross promote through different storylines? Will Eddie show up in different stories? Will the other heroes that you're creating show up in future Eddie stories?
Oh yeah. The first 3 books I planned is going to have Eddie's the lead, and then there's going to be other heroes and villains woven through. And then once these 3 are done, I'd like to split it off and have Eddie have his own series. And
Okay.
in this superhero team I've created, I'd like to send them off and have their own series. And they probably will cross back and forth eventually. I mean, just like any good superhero does.
Okay. Now, with the superheroes, let's talk. I'm noticing in the background you have an X-Men.
Yes.
Are they all alien given powers, or are they metahumans? Are they mutants? How are your heroes getting their powers?
They are getting it through aliens. It's an alien base.
Okay. How do you perceive them being chosen by this?
Well, without giving too much away, it's
Yeah, please. I no spoilers at all. I'm just interested. Like the Green Lantern, you have to be worthy of the ring. Captain Marvel, not my Captain Marvel, Shazam, but Marvel's Captain Marvel. M's laughing. You're like the Kree. You just become one. I'm just interested in how the aliens decide on who's worthy or not.
Well, in Deadlock, there are only 2 superhumans.
Okay.
One side picks Eddie, the other side picks Zealot, and they cause them to fight. Something happens at the end of the book of Deadlock that once you read it, you'll understand how everybody else gets their powers.
Okay. M, question?
Actually, yes, I do. So it sounds like correct me if I'm wrong, but if I had to guess, would you say Eddie is your favorite character that you've written out of the series here?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So other than Eddie, if you had to pick another one, who do you think your favorite character would be to pair with Eddie here?
Blair.
Blair? Okay.
Blair is my second favorite character.
Okay.
She's almost like Eddie's little sister.
Oh, nice. Okay. Cool.
Okay. Will Eddie get a costume?
Ooh.
Yes.
So I knew you would like that one. I was hoping you were gonna do it. I know. I was hoping that you were gonna. I was like, come on, read my mind. Okay, so Eddie will get a costume. Is he gonna wear a mask or no?
No. The world has seen Eddie through social media and YouTube and stuff like that, so they know who Eddie is. So there really is no reason for him to wear a mask.
Okay. Cape? Do you believe in capes or no?
I'm not a big cape fan, so Eddie does not have a cape.
You both looked at me funny. She looked at me funny. You looked at me funny. Why? What's wrong with a cape?
It could be a little cliche, that's all.
Eddie doesn't have a cape. Eddie doesn't have a cape. That doesn't mean there aren't other guys with capes in the series coming up. So
okay, all right, but
Batman's got a cool cape. Okay, so I'll say that Batman's got a cool cape. Some Supermans can look kind of stupid, but you know.
Look who you're talking to about Superman. Come on, no. Oh, please.
You asked. I'm beefing out.
Okay. All right. Fine. any supernatural character. No, I actually no supernatural characters because everything is alien based. Um, with the alien based, I'm like so asking you, and we never actually touched on the question: what makes a person worthy? Can you at least? You kind of danced around it, and I'm not. Damn it! I want to answer.
Eddie was chosen because he was kind of in a very dark place, in mentally, and
Okay.
so the aliens thought that because of some of the choices he was making, he would make a good fighter for them. Zealot he's just a psychopath, hitman who just loves killing.
Ooh, okay.
So that's why the other side picks him. They figure.
So okay, I get you now. So it has to be the need of the race and your personality, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow. So, all right. So, what kind of alien race? We're going to put you on the spot. What kind of alien race would choose me, and what kind of alien race would choose M?
Well, the two alien races I have are the Eok and the Thyar.
Okay.
I guess the Eok would probably choose you, Lewis.
Why? Because they're dumb.
No.
No. Okay. Why would they choose me?
Well, that's a good question. Why would they choose you?
Oh, jeez.
That's what put on the spot, Lewis. That's what happened.
I know. Okay. All right. Why would they choose M? How about that one? Not now. You had a question.
Well, she's obviously a Harley Quinn fan, which means she likes to live on the darker side, and so the Thyar, they chose the Thyar chose Zealot because he was on the darker side. That seems
accurate.
I was going to say accurate. Yes.
Accurate. Very accurate. Okay. All right. That is good. Very, very good. I would accept that.
And I was going to say the other side they must love Lewis because they just must be saints.
I'm not. Oh, please! I'm not a saint. I am not I'm not a saint at all. My God, not at all. Not at all. But you know what? Let's get back to. Oh, thank you. You did say you had one character that was almost like Doctor Strange.
Yes.
And so you do have a supernatural kind of character.
I do.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. I was going to ask you if you did have a supernatural character, but my brain kind of like stopped me. But then I looked over here and I saw my Eye of Agamotto and it clicked. Can you get into that a little bit and how that works out with aliens?
He's a very particular character. I can't get too much into him because there's kind of some spoilers surrounding him.
Again, no spoilers. We want people to go out and get the book, read the book, and give you great reviews on Amazon. So please, no spoilers. But I do want to know.
But
no,
you might be able to pick him out if you're looking close in Deadlock, but you'll definitely see him in Fallout because he plays a big role in the last third of the book.
Okay. All right. How many pages are each book?
Well, Deadlock is 218.
Okay.
I haven't been. I don't know how many pages the next one will be just yet because I'm like I said. Once I get it back from the beta readers, I may do a little bit of rewriting stuff. So I'm going to guess it's probably going to be around another 218 pages. Give or take.
All right. So let's get back to the beta readers. How many do you send out to the beta readers? 10, 15. How many do you send out?
I got 5 beta readers this time around.
Okay.
I had 4 contact me through my social media, and I found one online. So the four that contacted me through social media, they kind of know me personally, so it's nice to get their reaction to it. Plus, the beta reader I found online, they have no idea who I am, and their input is really special because, not knowing me from Adam, I'm sending them a book, and they're sending me back, what they think about it. And it's, like I said before, it's really scary, but I've gotten nothing but positive reviews from the beta readers so far. So,
all right, perfect. Em, you look like you have another question.
Well, I mean, it's just kind of came to me. It's not really about beta readers per se right now, but I mean, like, this is for any story, right? Really, like, how long would you say does it take you to get the absolute final copy in place? Like, how long do you think that takes you? Would that be like a year, or till like you're absolutely satisfied with the story? I should say.
Well, like I said, it took me about 5 or 6 months to write Fallout or Deadlock. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I sent it to my editor. I did the beta readers. Once all that came back, I did some rewrites. I sent out a second wave of beta readers.
Mm-hmm.
And once I got all the info back and I tweaked a little bit more, I looked at it and I said, I could probably keep tweaking this thing forever and ever, but I'm just gonna go, boom, it's done. So probably 2 rounds of beta readers, and I'm good.
Okay.
So probably
you said about 5 beta readers for the last one.
Well, yeah, I had about 5 beta readers for Deadlock. I have about 5 beta readers for Fallout. That seems to be the average for me. It's you don't want to get too many people chiming in, because now you're getting torn in all kinds of different directions.
Right. I can totally get that. Right.
All right,
yeah. Oh no.
No, we are coming up within our hour. So, Stephen, once again, please tell everyone where they can find you on social media. We know we can find a book on Amazon, but please tell everyone about your website and all those other goodies.
Well, you can find me on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, all at Stephen Hudler.
Mm-hmm.
Stephen Hudler, Facebook. My website is stephenhudlerauthor.home.blog, and from there you can see my I have some blogs. You can go to my YouTube. I have a YouTube channel too.
Okay.
Called The Nerd Way, where I talk about nerd stuff.
Awesome. Plug away. Go ahead. That's what you're all about. That's what you're here for.
Yeah, you can find me there. If you go to stephenhudlerauthor.home.blog, like I said, you'll find my YouTube page, you'll find my blogs, you'll find a link to the Amazon site where you can get the book. All kinds of good stuff there.
All right. And Emily, please tell everyone where they can find Quinderella.
All right. It's pretty simple. Everything, like my Instagram, my Twitter, is Quinderella Cosplay. I do have a website. It's QuinderellaCosplay.com. My Facebook, it's just my name. It's Emily Mae Partington. And you can actually find all the direct links to everything I have. But on everything that I have, it's just Quinderella Cosplay.
And you guys know where to find me every Monday night right here on the Angry Geek Show, every Tuesday night on the Faces and Heels podcast with ink-slinging Jack Purcell from DC Comics. And you know what? We're going to take off, but I need you two to stay here backstage with me. We'll see you guys next week, and I'll see you guys tomorrow night. See ya. You have been watching the Angry Geek Show on Pod TV. Visit our website today. And for guest bookings, email us at theangrygeekshow@gmail.com today.